podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for you.
My drop, I know my drop, I know my situation. I want to fight. But it's gonna be very difficult for both of us.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another midday edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. Spontaneous. We're becoming a daily show. Shout out to our patrons and all the super chatters that are helping us and supporting the movement so that we can continue to bring you daily shows such as today. We're reporting today's news. It's breaking news, and today was announced. Official press releases have been sent out. Errol Spence Jr., the truth, will be making his first title defense of the IBF that he captured when he defeated Kell Brooks, or England's own Kell Brook. Well, Errol Spence Jr. will be facing Lamont Peterson. Now, that isn't the breaking news. Obviously, we knew that. What we didn't know was where this fight was going to be taking place, and that's what we'll be discussing today, where the fight landed, and was it the right place for this fight? I'm going to head on out to the Hipster Hunter, and yeah, we'll get obviously his takes and go out to all our callers. You know the number 1425-569-5241. Press 1 time, and all our international callers, please just add Nestor Gibbs on Skype. You must add me as a friend if you want to be part of the call. Golden State, here we come.
Production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just hope the guy, I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipsters here. Haters beware. Show number 2 today, and it's not the last show of the day. Remember, 7:30 Eastern time. Derek James, trainer of Errol Spence, who we're talking about right now, will be on the show. So obviously, we're going to get his take on this fight. And there's plenty more about the welterweight division, Rob Brandt, Jamel Charlo, and how he just iced Erickson Lubin. What's next for him? Tons of topics to get to, obviously, on that show as well. But the official, information of the day is this fight and where it's going to be at, when it's going to be at, what time it's going to be at. So I'll read briefly the beginning portion of the press release just so you guys know all the information. Undefeated IBF welterweight world champion Errol the Truth Spence Jr. will make the first defense of his title when he takes on former 2 division world champion Lamont Peterson on Saturday, January 20th, live on Showtime. The event is presented by Premier Boxing Champions from Barclays Center, the home of Brooklyn Boxing. The event is going to begin at 9 p.m. Eastern. So that's all the pertinent information. And for all you people saying that PBC is dead, I mean, they're just putting on this fight. I mean, just being honest, they're still here.
Yeah, but and I'm not trying to turn this into a PBC is dead show, but when they say PBC is dead, they mean no more, consistent shows of this caliber on a CBS, NBC, Fox Sports, ESPN, things like that. Do we get PBC on Showtime? All the time. All the time. But why? They're shelling out the dollars. But that's okay for me. See, for me, I was always content with the Dana White style of things. One entity having all the fighters. This way, there's no arguments. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's a matter of when and only when. I know to some, they don't like that because they say, oh, look at all these guys only fighting 2 times a year, yada, 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 because they assume that if the fighters were spread out, they would be fighting more. But I don't know. It's all about networks, calendar dates, and fitting fights in around other sports. Let's not forget that those things exist, and the networks of these, the executives of these networks factor those things in. Go ahead, Matt.
And very quickly, just to make a quick point on that, and obviously that's not the point of the show, but networks have been reducing their budgets for fighting, for combat sports. Obviously, HBO has. God knows what the ESPN deal with Golden Boy and Top Rank is. We still have no idea what those financials are, but we do know one thing about the UFC. and their deal is up with Fox next year, and they're looking for $450 million a year. Fox is only offering $200 million so far. So think about that. The UFC, which is this big entity, much bigger than PBC, is getting less than half of what they're asking for. So those big time networks are very particular about what they invest a lot of money in, just being honest.
Tickets for this pretty exciting matchup. We're going to get into the actual style matchup in a bit. We're giving you all the information for anybody that wants to head on out to Brooklyn Barclays Center, a great place for fights, and definitely a location that has been becoming synonymous with boxing. They're really putting their name in the hat whenever big fights are available, because actually, let me get to those tickets. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, Wednesday, November 22nd at 10 a.m. You can head on over to Ticketmaster.com or BarclaysCenter.com, or you can call 1-800-745-3000 so that you can purchase your tickets at the American Express box office at the Barclays Center starting Thursday, November 23rd at noon. You can get group discounts available just by calling in 844-BROOKLYN-GP. This is going to be a Showtime Championship Boxing telecast, also in Spanish via secondary audio programming, which will probably have, what's this guy's name? Rafael Marquez on there. But, Matt, it's in Brooklyn. And, hey, look, it's great for me. It's actually bittersweet for me, right? Because I'm trying to have my girl ready within a year and a half to do a transition, right? Like, she wants to be in Cali. I'm like, oh, well, go figure. It would be good for me maybe to be in Cali, right? So it's at least a yes in our mind. But so many fights come to the East Coast that it seems impossible for me to leave. This is a pretty big fight. Errol Spence told Al Heyman, I only want top 5 welterweights, and Lamont Peterson is that. He has compiled a decent resume at 140. He's fought guys like, Timothy Bradley.
You said Lamont Peterson's top 5 welterweight? I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, so name 5 others.
I just off
name 5 others.
Well, we have Keith, Sean, Danny, Earl. So those 4 out of the way. So that leaves only 1 spot.
And who's that?
I mean, there's people with better wins at welterweight than Lamont Peterson.
Okay, who?
Jeff Horn.
Controversial. Next.
But he has a better win.
Next. Controversial.
You don't think Jeff Horn would beat David Avanesian?
He probably will. Do I think he could beat Lamont Peterson?
Lamont Peterson has had very controversial fights recently. I mean, let's be honest. Other than the David Avanesian, he had Danny Garcia, Felix Diaz, to name just a couple that were in the recent year and a half or 2 years.
Okay. And to quote you from yesterday's show, Keith,
again, I think Lamont Peterson's great.
No, to quote you from yesterday's show, you say that there's a contingency that say Keith Thurman has lost his last 2 fights. And if that's the case, we can go down Danny's resume. They like to question his entire resume. I mean, some people say Earl lost the first 6 rounds of the Kell Brook fight. Like, listen, critics are going to criticize.
True. I'm just saying Lamont Peterson is not a guaranteed top 5 welterweight.
Well, I can't say
top 10. Guaranteed top 10. I'll give him that. Guaranteed top 10.
I can't say that Jeff Horn is guaranteed off a controversial decision.
I can't either.
If you're telling me that half the world didn't give Chris Algieri credit for beating Ruslan, but we're going to give fucking Jeff Horn credit for beating Pacquiao, man, let's move on. What I do want to say is, whether you believe it's top 5 or not, Lamont Peterson is a decent name. He's a name that I would have loved to see Jeff Horn with, or Terrence Crawford with, or Danny Garcia. Oh, we've seen that. Lamont, Keith. I wouldn't have mind Keith. Even Jesse versus Lamont. I mean, Lamont's a top name to me. I don't know why you're making me feel like he's not. Like, how many more people outside of Jeff Horn are you putting in that number 5 spot? If Lamont's not number 5 and Jeff is, who's number 6 then? Come on, this is disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying that you can't say that he's a guaranteed top 5.
All right, so who's number 6?
You're acting like I'm not saying that Lamont Peterson's a great.
Who's number 6?
Number 6 would probably be Lamont.
Oh, you just want to please me. Why you don't say Kell Brook so we could keep arguing?
I don't think Kell Brook's going to be in this division anymore. That's why I don't include him.
I know. Eddie Hearns tweeted out today there's some good news coming, so we'll probably be bringing you back another show. That's just what we do around here. 24-hour ESPN style, Sports Center only boxing coverage, though. You know, ESPN and Sports Center, they cover everything. We need one of those things to just run across the stream right here, giving you the next topics that we're going to be discussing. One day we'll get there, you know. Support us on Patreon. $3, you know, it's just a cup of coffee, you know, iced cup of coffee, and we'll build this empire together. You want to spit some of these quotes? There are a lot of quotes here, man.
I don't have it open right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just had that beginning part open.
Well, Lou DiBella quote. We got an Espinoza quote. We got a Tom Brown from TGB Promotions quote. We got did I say Espinoza?
Yes, I believe you did.
All right. Well, we have an Espinoza quote. We have a Peterson quote, and we have a Lamont Peterson. We have an Errol Spence quote. Errol Spence quote. Here's the Boxing Scene article quote. My goal is to unify the welterweight division in 2018, comma. Let's just slap that on a title and make it an article. But it's not. That's his quote. And then his next sentence is, but this fight is a true test, and Lamont is a veteran that I definitely will not overlook. I've sparred him in the amateurs, and I know what he brings to the table. I have to get through him to achieve my goals, and that is what I plan on doing in January 20th. I really do like this matchup. It's unfortunate that people are automatically brushing Lamont Peterson off. I think that his inside game is high level. He used it in the Amir Khan fight and in the Kendall Holt fight. Two guys that are obviously smaller, moving up in division. Even Lamont himself, Earl is an extremely big guy. Earl has, I don't know how many knockouts? 22? And no, excuse me, 19 and 17, right? One has 22 fights with 19 knockouts, and Lamont has 30-something fights, 35, I believe, maybe 4 losses, something like that, with like 17 knockouts. So Lamont isn't going to be the puncher, especially not moving up in division. Now, we all know that he really used to put himself through the ringer to make that weight. Being at welterweight, could we get a different Lamont? He's been here for a while. You know, he fought Danny at a catch. Then he's been kind of able to just become a true welterweight, and he has a lot of time off. Good thing, bad thing, Matt. I mean, there's so many questions. I hate that Lamont actually has to come into this fight with such a long layoff. I want to get those exact months while you give me your thoughts.
I think this is a very great matchup. I think this is a very interesting matchup. I think this is one of those fights that could turn out to be a fight of the year, even with how these two can mesh on the inside. We've seen Lamont dig to the body. We've seen Earl do that. Obviously, Earl's also southpaw. It's all about can Lamont take the power of Earl, and is Lamont's power enough to get Earl to respect him? Those two questions to me are the big factors of this fight, beyond just the technique of it. I think I don't know about Lamont Peterson's layoff. I think Lamont Peterson has had numerous layoffs in his career, and they haven't really affected him drastically.
That's true.
And he does look amazing at welterweight. I think this is the.
But what's his best win, right? Like, nothing has prepared him for what we believe Errol Spence is.
True, of course. And I think there's a reason why, even if you think this is a great matchup and it's gonna be a fun fight, you're still picking Earl. Like, even the people that think this is a tighter match than some may think are still picking Earl. Like, that's the great part about this, that this is a credible opponent, especially for a first title defense. I think no one is going to criticize this matchup at all in terms of a first title defense. I think everyone understands that this is a tough go out for your first defense. Most people don't do that. Most people take a soft touch. So I do want to commend Errol Spence for taking a top 10 opposition in his first title defense when the other champions don't seem to want to fight him right now. So kudos to him.
Lamont took the similar Danny Garcia route when moving up to 47. He had a 43 fight, a 44 fight. Then he weighed in at 46.5, obviously being the welterweight division on weigh-in day. This is only going to be his second official fight. I might have to make the drive over there, man, and just see what's up with the camp, bro. the funny thing is, a guy like Adrian Broner, who had once upon a time has held camps with Lamont Peterson there in the DC area at the Barry Hunter's gym, Headbangers gym. He'll go on record and say Earl's his brother. They'll hug, they'll never fight, and Lamont is taking this fight. It's interesting. Seriously, remember Berto didn't take this Earl fight, and Algieri isn't really a Heyman guy. We come to find out he was like options, Heyman helping him, but he was stuck in and still is stuck in this Star Boxing contract. He's kind of Heyman affiliated, as you can see. He's the strength and conditioning of Daniel Jacobs now for 2 camps. He's now personally trained by Daniel Rozier, the trainer of Sergey Devrchenko, Ivan Hitrov, Daniel Jacobs, and your boy Richard Comey. I mean, just so many Rozier has now. That where was I going with this, Matt? Holy fuckers.
Al Heyman.
Yes, that Algieri's alliance seems to be there, but there's never really been an Al Heyman guy, true Al Heyman guy, to step in with Earl. Brooke is not. Earl had to go across the pond to get an elite level fight. Peterson is the first guy to sign a dotted line. Like, there's videos of Berto and Earl and others saying like he's got to do something. Like, nobody wants to fight him in the division. Everybody has different thoughts on Earl. This makes it very interesting. January 20th is going to be an interesting day, but it's also, again, bittersweet. Bittersweet. Why? Because we not that I've grown accustomed, even though I kind of guess I have grown accustomed to these guys only fighting twice a year. So if he gets his first fight out of the way in January, that's it. Like, we'll only dream of what's next for like 10 months to come.
Yeah, he's not fighting until the fall, probably.
It's so depressing. Like, he's in January, and then maybe August, maybe September,
maybe
maybe November, because if it's really a big fight.
After the top 7 in the welterweight division, like, there's a big drop-off. There's a huge drop-off. And, after Lamont Peterson, most likely Keith's fighting Jesse. Danny and Sean are doing their thing. Sean says he's not going to fight until he fights Keith. Danny says he's not going to fight until he fights Keith. So those guys are out of the equation. Who's really left after this?
It's top heavy. And listen, the division is top heavy, but it is a good division if we play friendly. If Oscar and Bob and everyone else that is capable plays friendly, then we have a good fight. We ease certain guys. A guy like Lucas, wasn't there a rumor of a Broner fight? Maybe that's too big of a fight to give Lucas coming off an Emmanuel Taylor win. Maybe ease him into that universe with a good undefeated guy like Omar Figueroa, who's obviously beatable, but needs to get a good camp in to make 47 and is going to give you an action-packed fight. The winner of that emerges as a Danny Garcia opponent, a Lamont Peterson bounce back or Errol Spence bounce back opponent, deciding depending on what happens January 20th. Maybe Lucas wins, and it's easy for Crawford to get that fight. Diego Chavez is fighting Jamal James. A great fight for him off of a long layoff.
He wins that.
We have to start
Jamal James could win. If Jamal James wins, he could potentially line himself up with a fight.
Exactly, but we also have to open up our minds to the other half of the division, which is the 10 through 20. These guys need that attention. The Yuldanis Ulgas, he needs his shot, even though he kind of ruined it because he was on like a 4-fight win streak looking good. Then his last fight, he kind of shit the bed. So it's hard to throw him in there with like a Garcia or a Jesse. Even though, look, Jesse didn't go that route because Jesse trains with Ismail Salas from time to time. What's that feeling?
I don't know.
Mute yourself. Yeah, from time to time trains with Ismail Salas. Maybe that's why he didn't take that fight. Maybe Ulgas wanted more money. Who knows? I guess any final thoughts or should I read some more quotes before we actually do final thoughts and sponsors and then phone calls, right? Let's go to Peterson's quote. He says, first of all, I'm happy to be getting back in the ring. And before I finish that quote,
You finished the Earl quote, by the way.
I did finish it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. I said, my goal is to unify the division in 2018, comma. And then I stopped. That's when I stopped. Then I said his next sentence was, but this fight is a true test, and Lamont Peterson is a veteran that I definitely will not overlook, said Spence. I sparred him in the amateurs, and I know what he brings to the table. I have to get through him to achieve my goals, and that is what I plan on doing January 20th. Totally finished the quote.
Oh, okay.
Peterson says, first off, I'm happy to be getting back in the ring. And I wanted to stop there because I know some people hate it, Matt, but curiosity killed the cat. And I'm just saying, how much is he getting for this fight? Let's be honest. He vacated the title. Is it a thing of just, hey, vacate your title because you're getting a title shot? It's not the same thing. You know why? Because having a title is negotiation power. So making you vacate your title, they got to give you a little bump. It's like, yo, vacate your title here. Because, you know, once you're a champion, your paycheck's different. You don't just vacate a title to become a title challenger, Matt.
Well, it's also a voluntary defense. So remember, it's not a mandatory split. He's not getting an automatic 25, 75.
Exactly, which means that the purse could be negotiated well. What if it's like, yo, 45?
I assume it was.
Yeah, like a 45.
Like if Lamont's not making 7 figures, he's making high 6 figures. High 6 figures. I'm assuming.
What? So for the small people, 6 figures is under $1 million, 7 figures is $1 million.
Yes.
There's no way Lamont isn't making $1 million. Come on, you're not getting in there.
Okay, you don't think you see like maybe? Hold on.
Well, actually, no, because what was the alleged purse for my boy?
You have to be way more specific about your boy.
My boy is Earl.
For what? For Kell Brook?
Mm-hmm.
I'll look it up.
Man, the AP just sent me some news there. It has me excited. It seems like some sort of I don't know. Seems it was changed. It got deleted quickly, that video. Shit. That sucks. Sensitive material. I think, damn, did they really like release an email? Fuck. But I guess it got deleted already. And I'm talking about Joseph Park. I just got sent on there by the AP. I can't really understand it. We're in the middle of speaking to Errol Spence Jr. and Lamont Peterson. We were on quotes. We gave Peterson's quote. Let I finish it up. Let's see. I didn't, because I went into trying to figure out your guesstimation of how much money Peterson is getting to step in with Earl. You're saying at least 6 figures or 7 figures. Finishing up that quote, he says, I've stayed in the gym. I'm ready to go. And I can contest to that. This guy's always in shape. He's always working out. He's always training. That Headbangers gym is just dozens of fighters, so he's always sparring. Continuing quote, this is a fight I wanted. And as I said before, when I became welterweight, I want to fight the best and make the fights that the people want to see. I'm ready to give it my all and give the fans a great show. Damn! Now, I'm going to be honest. I've worked closely, Matt, with a publicist, so I can go on the record and say that I have given one of my personal boxing voice writers a you know, like I hooked him up with a publicist so he could be paid to write the press releases for the publicist, right? That being said, after that relationship was formed, we later learned that a lot of times publicists write quotes for fighters. There is a strong or high probability that Earl and Lamont were never reached out for these quotes and someone simply wrote this. I'm just being honest, because I've seen it done. I'm just being honest. Now, getting that out the way, assuming that these are true quotes, the reason I said damn is because if this is Peterson talking, the last thing I wanted to read and hear him say is, I'm ready to give it my all. That can be read as a man that's already defeated. I'm just saying. Words are, Shakespeare said it best, right? I don't know how he said it, but how he's paraphrasing, words are powerful, right? Words are stronger than the sword, all that shit. I'm just saying, if you want to read into shit, I'm just being, fucking devil's advocate, make it juicy. But it is true though, right?
I mean, so I don't.
You really need to get a new mic, buddy. This is getting frustrating.
It's you.
I don't know nothing. You just keep cutting out. You sound like the Verizon commercial. It's
Nestor.
Yes.
You hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yes.
It's YouTube. It's YouTube. I don't know why we have this.
According to Matthew,
every host that's on here except for you, the hub, the home computer, has
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Let's read Stevens. With his breakout performance against Kell Brook, Errol Spence established himself as one of the top fighters in the welterweight division, if not in all of boxing, said Steven Espinoza, executive vice president and general manager of Showtime Sports. Never one to rest on his laurels, Errol continues to seek out the toughest available opponents, and he has found exactly that in Lamont Peterson. Lamont has never backed down from a challenge, and as a result, he has a wealth of experience with one of the strongest resumes in the division. This type of high-profile, dangerous matchup is the quintessential Showtime Championship Boxing main event. Spoken like a true executive right there. Let's give him a fucking round of applause. That sounded actually like good. I like that, Steven. I really do. He does have a good fight on his hands. When's the last time we've seen an HBO Championship Boxing this caliber? And I'm not taking a dig. I really want to know. When has it been? Because this is what, like 50-50, 45-40, 60-40, something like, it's still in those good, really tight ratios. It's not like a 70-30, right?
It depends who you talk.
Don't give me that number, Matt.
I mean, it depends who you're talking to. I mean, there's definitely people that think that.
If you're talking to trolls, it's 70-30, Matt. We ignore. Remember that movie by M. Night Shyamalan, and all the context was like, those we do not speak of.
Oh, The Village.
Yeah, so it's like that with the trolls. Those we do not speak of.
I think it's definitely more like 60-40. It's definitely not 50-50. Like, Earl is the favorite. He should be the favorite.
Pearl, he's the truth. Allegedly, right? Because according to some people, that he lost the first 6 rounds in the Kell Brook fight.
I think that's a little bit exaggerating and hyperbolic. But I'll put it this way. Even if you think Keith Thurman beats him, even if you think Terrence Crawford beats him, I almost guarantee those are the only 2 people you think that beat Errol Spence in this division. And being top 3 in the world means something. That means something.
But Matt, let's be honest. Has Erickson Lubin not taught us anything? It's boxing. Who's to say Danny can't catch Earl with the same left hook? Yes, I know. It's been a long time since that left hook has landed and knocked someone out. But who's to say? We didn't even count on Erickson Lubin being knocked out, let alone in the first round, in that fashion.
We saw Keith Thurman bully and bruise up Danny Garcia in the first round and a half and pressure him. I think Errol Spence Jr. would rip apart Danny Garcia.
But we also, like you said, have a contingency of fans that feel that Thurman has lost his last 2 fights. If people felt that he lost his last 2 fights, they felt that Danny beat Thurman.
Yes. Those people, yes.
Also, I mean, if you speak to Thurman, he said he was running a show, but I mean, was he?
I mean, it depends who you're talking to, right? Like, this is boxing. This is subjective. What's the consensus? I don't know what the consensus is for Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia. Is there one? Is there a consensus amongst the boxing fandom? I don't know. I haven't heard one. I've heard either, Keith Thurman's boring, or it was a sloppy, or it was a close fight. I've heard that a lot. I haven't really heard people say that Keith dominated. I haven't really heard a lot of people say that Danny won, but there are people that say that. So it's one of those things. It's boxing, it's subjective. What do I think? I think Errol Spence could be the truth. And he could beat Keith Thurman. He could beat Terrence Crawford. He could beat Jeff Horn. He could beat Sean Porter. He could beat Danny Garcia. And if you have him favored to do that, I don't blame you. Because what he has shown us so far has been nothing but amazing. Even the Kell Brook fight, that was an amazing performance. Even if you
all right.
think Kell Brook outboxed him for a period of time, Errol Spence still won.
We got to get paddles. We need paddles. That's going to be our clue, our cue. Maybe I get you a paddle for Christmas, like, bam. Because I want to say here, with Gennady Golovkin, right? There was so many of us, and I say us, me included, that were like, what is this guy? What is he? I need to see him in with a certain person and know what he is. Like, he does this right, he does that right, but what is he? Then the intelligent detractors of Gennady decided on a particular day there was no reason to be a detractor of Gennady Golovkin any longer after his fight with Curtis Stevens. Curtis Stevens presented enough speed and power to answer questions on behalf of Gennady. One question being that chin. I took the long route in now asking you, who is that Curtis Stevens for Errol Spence? Was it Kell Brook? Has he already proven he can take the punch? Are we sure that he has the granite chin of a Gennady Golovkin? Do we know that yet? It did take us some time to see that Golovkin could take a punch. Remember, Gil had to hit him, and he had to eat that and knock Gil out. It was a lot that took place before we decided that he is, you know, a guy who can stand there and take some serious licks.
Here's the thing. Gennady, comparing anyone to Golovkin's chin, I think, is just a high order to ask. I think Golovkin could have the best chin of this generation, and that's not hyperbolic. So Errol Spence may not have that chin, but he may have a great one. He may have one that's good enough. He definitely seems to have one that's good enough. I don't remember Kell Brook really rocking him or hurting him. And Kell Brook has some pop. Kell Brook has respectable power. You know, like Keith Thurman said about Demetrius Andrade. You know, Demetrius Andrade, a guy that doesn't really get a ton of knockouts, though, has respectable power. He has that power that makes you want to not rush in there. I think Kell Brook definitely has that. And we saw Errol Spence eat those shots and eventually wear him out and wear Kell Brook out of the fight. So I think his chin's good enough. I'll put it that way.
I agree. Listen, let's get out to the sponsors and the callers. You know the number 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time if you want to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. We're talking Errol Spence and Lamont Peterson. The fight is official January 20th, live on Showtime Championship Boxing, and you can come watch this one in the New York City, Brooklyn area at the Barclays Center. Continue to bring the big fights to the East Coast. Shout out to I believe it's Brett Yermart, right? Is the CEO or whatever of Barclays. If it's not Brett, it's his brother, right? They're twins. One runs Rock and the other runs the Barclay. We're gonna get out to our sponsors helping us continue to stay here and bring you multiple shows per day. And if you want to help support the Boxing Voice, stick around. Remember, this is a fan-driven show, and your patronage makes us continue to work and helps us get to these camp life episodes that we do, helps us get to Alabama and Florida and all these states where these fighters are at. Look, right now I'm in talks with Derek James. We're trying to get in the home of Errol Spence, so we're going to need your patronage to get the team over there. So head on over to patreon.com/The Boxing Voice. Show your support, receive a little reward for that, get some perks. You really want to get fancy, we got a lot of rewards over there for you. We're going out to the sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Atlanta, home of Evander Holyfield, an all-time legend, but also the home of a legend in TBV phone call history, the Milkman, baby.
I told y'all a long time ago, Kirkland will go down 3 rounds.
Next, I got milk, baby.
Hey, Ness, come right back to me, Ness.
Oh, man, you're going to ruin a perfect intro like that. I'm out of here. DC, Marcus, talk to me.
Yo, man. Listen, man. This is a great fight, man. I don't think you really alluded to it. But Lamont did have a fight at 47 against David Evanesius. So this isn't his first fight coming up to 47.
No, I said this will be his second.
Yeah, I think you heard the first some questions about him coming up. But anyway, like you said correctly, he had been putting himself through the grinder for a while to be down at 140, and then even talked about taking a fight at 54 before against Cotto. However, check this out. He could have been a mandatory. He could have been a mandatory to Keith Thurman at this point in his career. But I believe after the Danny fight, he understood that movers right now is going to give him more problems than he needs right now. And relinquish that, knowing that Errol's going to be somebody who's going to sit in front of him and be there to be hit and want to be hit himself and want to come forward himself. So I think for him, at this point in his career, I think it's a better matchup for Lamont than Keith Thurman is. Because Keith Thurman has shown that although he's one time, he's one ring too, and he will move around that whole thing. So he gave up his WBA Mando, which he could have been the Mando instead of Porter, and he kept the WBA with the belt consolidation. He could have done that, but he gave it up to fight Earl. So I think that this is going to be a good fight. I think that Earl correctly said he can't take this lightly. I did hear before when Peterson won the title and said, "I'm not the champion, I'm a belt holder. I want to fight anybody at 147." So I think that quote that you did read from him is legit from him. If you also remember, a couple of fighters that said Lamont was his brother, that when they turned right around to interview Lamont later, Lamont said, "I'll fight him." That includes Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner said Lamont was his brother, but then if you listen to Lamont, 5 minutes later when they interviewed him, he was like, "I'll fight AB." You know what I'm saying? So Lamont is at that point where he's going to take the top fight. He's going to be on blast, if nothing else. If you're not on blast, if you can't take that body tag, you can't beat him. If Spence is the truth, we'll find out after that fight, man. And I think that's a good fight. It makes a lot of sense, man. I'm out. Be seeing the good and Boxing Voice for life.
All right, brother. Let's go out to
very quickly. I just want to address something he said. Remember, the WBA does not enforce mandatories. They do not have mandatories. Even though they keep saying they're going to clean up the regular and super belt shit, they don't. And we were just in Florida with Keith Thurman, and he reiterated that the WBA does not have mandatories.
Yeah, he specifically said that it's the Floyd Mayweather loophole is what he called it. So head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. You can check out that interview with Keith Thurman in its entirety. And it is a 3-hour interview, ladies and gentlemen. We have spoke to Keith about everything under the sun, from Canelo to Earl, Danny, Porter, boxing,
Mikey,
life, women, bars, Japan, China,
Himalayas,
fucking Mount Everest, everything. It was insane. Boxingologist from Kansas City. What's up?
Man, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I think you know, the Lamont Peterson fight, I'm surprised when Peterson took the fight, man, because when he was offered the fight when he was ranked with the IBF, you know, when Spence was looking for an opponent for the mandatory #1, he turned it down. So, you know, shout out to Lamont Peterson for taking the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I think he's food for Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think, you know, he might make it competitive for the first 2 rounds, but I think he stops him inside of 10 rounds. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I just don't think he'll be able to keep Errol Spence up off of him. You know what I mean? I just think he's too strong. He's too technical to the body, and it's just gonna be, you know, that's a wrap. You know, but one thing that I was wondering, man, I wanted to ask you something, man. It's kind of off the topic pertaining to with Sean Porter. I heard that Kenny Porter interview you did, man. Great interview. But I wanted to ask you something. Is that cool?
Yeah, man. Hello? We like to stay on topic, brother. So I guess make it quick.
All right, man. I wanted to ask you, man, because I know every time they had mentioned him fighting Errol Spence, he always kind of deflect and say, "We're not fighting for the IBF. We're not ranked in the IBF." Now I know for a fact he doesn't have a #1 mandatory, and I wonder why, you know, you or anybody else never asked him. Well,
I asked him.
You just fight a non-title match. A non-title match. Yeah, I mean, because he said he couldn't find nobody to fight him.
Yo, come on, man. Come on. Hold on. I'm
just asking.
Hold on, bro. Name one non-title big fight match not named Mayweather-McGregor.
You said name one?
Yeah.
Shoot, Canelo Alvarez versus Randy Moore.
Man, you crazy?
Shane Mosley.
No. Laura, no. Laura had a belt. Laura had a belt, and so did Canelo. Check that, Matt. No way. I think Canelo was fighting for Laura's belt. Come on, man.
Okay, Floyd Mayweather, Shane Mosley. That wasn't for the title.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mosley had the title from Margarito. Mayweather dropped it because he ain't want. No. Mayweather had the title. Margarito had. Mosley won the title from Margarito, right? In that big fight where he knocked him out. Mayweather vacated because he ain't want to pay them fees. We could Google that. I'm sure there's articles on that.
What's the excuse? So what's the excuse for Canelo Alvarez and Laura? Because
it ain't. He
beat him. And
it ain't no excuse. The bottom line is the bottom line is no one is gonna have a big time fight without a title just to make the fight to make fans happy. Think about what you're asking a professional fighter to do. You want him to drop his belt, which helps him make money.
No, they're gonna get paid regardless, bro. They're gonna get paid based off their name.
Oh yeah,
like Floyd and Conor McGregor. Look how much money that fight made. That's the biggest fight in boxing next to Pacquiao.
Oh really? Oh really? So is that why Errol Spence consistently in every interview before getting that title said no, I'm waiting for my shot with the IBF? Why he never went and got no fight with Keith or Danny or any other titleists before that? He was happy and content going after that belt. Why? Because when you get a belt, your check increases. Come on, man. How long you been watching boxing?
I understand that.
You better listen to this show a lot more.
He got to get a belt to fight us.
No, you got to get a belt. You got to get a belt if you want to get a certain paycheck, man. After your name is big enough, then you don't need it. But does Earl sound like Canelo? Is he selling 40,000 tickets in Texas? Because this fight ain't even in fucking Texas. You guys, you Errol Spence fans think he really a superstar. Didn't he fucking swear up and down? Hold on a minute. Didn't he swear up and down his next fight was going to be a hometown fight? What happened? A superstar say he going to fight somewhere. That's where the fuck he fight. What happened? Where that Texas fight? Then he mentioned 2 stadiums. What happened? Because when Joshua say he going to motherfucking fight, when Joshua say he going to motherfucking fight, he sell out a stadium. When Canelo say he going to Texas, he sell it out. Come on, you Errol Spence fans getting carried away. Y'all getting carried away. Let's watch this fight. Let's watch this fight.
What about fighting the best? What about fighting the best? Because you want.
So Lamont Peterson ain't one of the best.
He can fight him for the belt.
Lamont Peterson ain't one of the best.
You telling me that Sean Porter is he better than Sean Porter?
We don't know. They never fought. We about to find out.
Come on, man.
Is Sean Porter injured?
All I know is that Sean Porter could fight Errol Spence for the title, but he chose not to because he doesn't want a mandatory.
Now let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. If because of this and this is completely hypothetical, and please try to remain till the end of my sentence. If hypothetically, because of this ridiculous call, the Boxing Voice decides never to answer your call again, wouldn't you be mad at us? Just answer yes or no.
Hell no.
Oh, come on. Like well, I'll tell you what.
An emotional trait, man.
I'll tell you what. Listen, I'll tell you what. If it was vice versa, I would be mad, right? And because I would be mad.
Why?
Because I'm just stating my opinion. I'm going to tell you why. Let me explain. I'm going to tell you why. Because you should have the right to call into this show, voice your opinion, and not be judged for it. That's why you should have every right to be upset. Same reason that if Sean Porter fights for the IBF and he's a champion in that sanctioning body, he defends his title versus Kell Brook and loses and gets dumped out of the rankings, not by 2 positions, not by 3 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, but over 15. He wasn't even top 15 immediately. A week after losing to Kell Brook. Why the fuck would I ever pay again for those sanctioning fees to get back in their rankings to fight back for their title so they could do it again. They don't respect me. It's a thing about pride. But you fight fans don't see that. For you, is give me my fight. Give me my fight. He's scared. He's scared. Man, they the ones that signed up the motherfucking fight. They the ones that spar 3 times a day. Y'all fucking is crazy.
Okay, so what you saying is because of Sean Porter's pride, Sean Porter would never be undisputed. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir. According to his father.
Is he trying to fight the best or not?
According to, listen to me.
That goes back to my original point. If it's because of pride that you don't want to fight for the IBF title, Errol Spence is still in the top 5 welterweights, and he was looking for a fight when you was looking for a fight. So why not fight him?
So let me ask you, what about Errol?
He ain't got to fight for the title.
What about Earl and his quote of wanting to unify the division? You think Earl gonna also vacate his IBFs just so he can make a fight with Sean Porter? Because you said you gonna buy it on pay-per-view.
Who said he got to vacate his title, man? You know how it works with the IBF. You can fight a mandatory or fight the champion. You get a free fight, and then you fight another mandatory.
So you saying
the rankings? The rankings is vacant for number 1.
Wait.
Number 1 mandatory.
Wait. Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. So you want Errol Spence?
He's fighting Lamont Peterson.
Wait.
Is Lamont Peterson number 1 at IBF?
No. Lamont is a voluntary. Lamont is a voluntary defense.
Exactly.
So after that, what happens though? After the voluntary defense, what comes next? A mandatory defense.
It would, and then Constantine Podomar just pull out the fucking fight for the fight for the number 1 mandatory.
Oh, so now you telling the future.
Gotta wait for somebody else.
So now you telling the future. You already know. You already know his next mandatory also gonna pull out. I mean, you the super duper Errol Spence fan. I swear to God.
Bro, how, bro? I'm saying facts, man.
What facts?
Constantine just pulled out this fight.
Okay, but listen.
Fight for the number 1 mandatory to fight Spence. So now that man got to find another guy to fight him for the number 1 spot. The number 1 spot is still vacant, man. And all I'm saying is this. Before the fight got scheduled with Lamont Peterson, Errol Spence was looking for a fight. Sean Porter was looking to fight Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia turned it down, but Sean Porter went and found Adrian Granados instead of saying, you know what? I ain't got to fight. Spence ain't got to fight. We got the same manager. Let's make it happen. He didn't do that, bro. He didn't do that. Come on, man. And that would have been more money in his pocket, and you know it. So cut it out, man. Stop with the jokes, man. You telling me Adrian Granados would have paid more money?
So let's get this straight. Let's get this straight. So in your opinion, Sean Porter is ducking Errol Spence?
Absolutely. He won't even mention the man's name for real, bro.
You're crazy. I don't see that.
How many times? Okay, let me ask you this, man. How many times have you heard him say, you know what? Everybody like they scared Errol Spence. I want to fight Errol Spence sometime next year. Have you heard him say that? When I get these belts from Keith Thurman, I want to fight Errol Spence next. Have you heard him say that? Have you heard him say anything remotely close to that? I heard he ain't got to fight. I'll fight him. But he doing fucking WWE sitcom commercials and shit, calling out Danny Garcia. Why you ain't calling out Spence? He the champion. He the one coming off the biggest win. Danny Garcia coming off a loss. Why you want to fight him?
Who's the bigger fight? Who's the bigger fight? Who's the bigger fight? When people call out Mayweather and Pacquiao, hold on, brother. Hold on.
Go ahead.
This is synonymous with boxing, dog. Like, people been calling out Mayweather and Pacquiao because they the bigger fight. They wasn't sitting around here calling out no Errol Spence or Keith Thurman or anybody. They was calling out Mayweather and Pacquiao because it's just like the heavyweights are calling out Joshua and Wilder because they want the biggest fight. Every fighter wants the biggest fight. You telling me Danny Garcia is not a bigger fight than Errol Spence? Because you'll be wrong. You'll be wrong. Danny does more. Danny does better views. Danny does better views and has done more ticket sales. That's just the way boxing is. Why you think everybody call out Canelo? Do they call out Canelo because they want to be the best or they want the best check? Come on, man. We can't keep doing this.
You asked me a question. You want me to answer. You said, who's the bigger fight? To me, the bigger fight is who the fans are talking about at the present time. Ain't nobody talking about no Danny Garcia, man.
The fans ain't paying, man.
Talking about
oh, man. All right, you win, bro. I tapped out. Yo, tune in at 7:30. Derek James will be on, and I just got the text.
I got you.
All right, you think you got a body. You out of control. Tune in at 7:30. We're going to have Derek James, and it looks like we might be in the camp in about a month.
To clarify maybe what Sean Porter is feeling, he would fight Errol Spence. He just doesn't want the IBF. Does not want them involved. Sort of like Canelo will fight Triple G, but he's not fighting for the WBC belt. I think that's sort of where Sean Porter's at. And playing his thinking, if I have the WBC and WBA belt, I can definitely do that. I can definitely.
The difference in that scenario is that Canelo and Gennady had to meet.
Yeah, they had to fight. Sean Porter and Errol Spence don't have to fight.
Yeah, like, it's like, I'm going to just change my entire route. I've been trying to get ranked in the WBC and become the mandatory so I could get my rematch because I feel like I beat Thurman. But I'm going to just abandon that because I got a couple of guys like boxingologists who just feel I'm ducking Errol Spence along with everybody else. And on top of that, the same sanctioning body that shitted on me when I lost the first time versus Kell Brook, I'm going to just go ahead and rank myself in there, pay their fees anyway, knowing they might do some more snake shit. Come on, man. Nah, so you telling me he don't want to fight for his pride. When they got to fight, best believe they'll fight. It's like Keith said, let them go get them other two belts so somebody could do a unification the way Crawford did at 47. Let's do it at 47. It's so all this onus is on everybody to fight Earl. He gotta fight. They still mad. Oh, he ducking Keith ducking Earl. Keith ducking Earl, Ness. Ain't he scheduled to fight?
I can't wait for when another maybe top 5 welterweight, Jesse Vargas. Just throwing that out there. He definitely has a better win at welterweight than Lamont Peterson, but they're definitely going to be Errol Spence fans that say when Keith
at welterweight that's better. Saddam Ali.
Saddam Ali is definitely better than David Avanesian, right? I mean, can we not agree on that?
I mean, I think they've beaten the same names of caliber of opponent, Francisco Santana and whoever the fuck David Avanesian has beat.
You mean an old ass Shane Mosley at 40-something years old?
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. So Saddam Ali and Avanesian are on that same level. They've never beat anybody. The thing is with Ali, we had that eye test. I'm guilty of it.
I just want to throw out a joke. I was going to throw out a joke. That's fine.
Oh, I thought you were being said. I gotta check you. You know what I'm saying? They come from my head, yo. People coming for me today.
Let me finish. When all the Spence fans go, hey, Thurman's fighting Vargas, Earl fought Lamont. You're gonna get that narrative. 100%.
Yo, if Thurman come in off injury and fight fucking Jesse, I'm gonna do a show a day saying how bad he is. Because people hate us. You don't come off injury and take Jesse Vargas. Don't play Jesse like that. Jesse was an Olympian.
So Danny didn't come off injury and fought Samuel Vargas. Like, come on. Like,
yeah. Yo, let's go to Joshua. Not Anthony, but from New Orleans. What up?
Yeah, you get me clear?
What?
I want to be heard clearly. That's why I'm asking. I'm driving. That's why I asked.
I mean, you definitely got us on speaker and it sound like garbage.
Nah, I'm pulling over. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. I'm going to pick right back off where the last caller left off at. And I want to be clear that I'm not no Errol Spence Jr. fan.
You can't even say you not. I hear your accent is all the way from Texas.
Oh no, dude, I'm from New Orleans. I told you before. I know
he was raised in Texas.
I got his number. I met his dad. I met Errol. I compliment him all the time on how good Errol is. But in my personal opinion, I think Terrence Crawford comes to 147 and beat them all. I'm a fan of Errol, Crawford, Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter. But lately, I got to agree with, as you would call them, fanboys of Errol Spence Jr. with the Sean Porter talk. Because when it comes down to talking of him, talking of his name, nobody talks the same way they were talking before this dude came up, got him a belt. This is the way he did it and stuff like that. Like you just said, go get your belt, get your name so you can get your money up. Sean Porter conversation has changed from where he was a few years when he had that belt, when he lost it to Kell Brook, and his conversation isn't the same way it used to be about Errol. Keith Thurman doesn't even talk the way he used to talk about Errol. And be mindful, I'm a fan of all the dudes, but I call a spade a spade. When it comes out of this dude, when you want to talk about people ducking or who they're afraid of, like we talk about Deontay Wilder, like we talking about Ridley Dow, he's that dude in that weight division to where somebody, when they mention him, the conversation changed. Danny Garcia ain't doing nothing. He don't even want to go nowhere near him. Sean Porter ain't never even talked about fighting Errol. He always mentioned how he's not going in that direction and whatever you. And like the last caller said, if Sean Porter wanted to bring that name and get that recognition back, he could beat Errol Spence Jr. and fight him and get that recognition because he's the boogeyman of the weight division right now. Now, Keith Thurman, I do believe he will fight Errol. But I honestly want to say that he's sitting around waiting to milk it, hoping that he don't have to. That's my honest opinion. And I ain't no fanboy of none of them. I like them all. But, like, I call the spade a spade. Errol Spence Jr. is the boogeyman of 147. This fight coming up with Peterson, I think it will be a very challenging fight for him. We're going to have to see him, how he can box, deal with a guy on the inside. If Peterson can match him in strength, which he may not, it's going to be a good fight. If not, he'll get bulldozed over. That's my call.
All right. Hey, Matt, that's the new title, man. Whenever we bored, we doing that. That right there. That's the next title, I'm telling you. 604-446. First time caller? 604. First time caller?
Yeah, that's me.
What's up, brother? First time caller? Who's this? Sergey Kovalev?
Yeah, first time caller. I got a couple questions about the welterweight division for you guys. First of all, how long before we actually see the Jeff Horn Terrence Crawford fight that the WBO ordered?
Next year, probably in the first half of next year.
First half next year, and then you think they unify the division in 2019?
You mean the winner of Crawford Horn?
Yeah, you think the winner of Crawford Horn, and Keith Thurman was talking about fighting Errol Spence Jr. like late 2018. You think that happens, and you think the winners from those two fights?
I don't think Keith Thurman's fighting Spence next year. So Keith Thurman's either going to fight Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford the first half of 2019 and unify potentially. So that's probably where you're going to get that unification. If Keith Thurman fights Errol Spence, then Terrence Crawford is the odd man out, and he will have to fight someone else. That doesn't mean it does not happen in this back half of 2019, but that's just really hard to predict that far in advance.
Mm-hmm. And then my other question about, you were talking about the huge distance between the top of the welterweight division and the contenders coming up. I've been watching all of Conor Benn's fights, and I'm wondering who you guys think he could step up his level against.
He's still at the domestic level in the UK, so maybe a Bradley Skeet, a Sam Egginton, one of those guys would be a good step up, and then he could maybe come over and fight a US established name, maybe a Jesse Vargas, a Saddam Ali, one of those guys.
All right, cool, thanks.
All right, thanks for calling in. We're going Jalen? I don't know. I know I would chop that up. From Colorado. How do you pronounce your name?
Yo, what's up, Boxing Voice? Jelon.
Oh, Jelon.
Duh, Ness, come on.
Jelon. Yeah. What's up, Ness? What's up, Matt?
What's
Boxing
up?
Voice. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. I don't think it's going to be such a cakewalk as people make it out to be. Lamont Peterson is a formidable opponent, but I do think he gets stopped probably in the later rounds, like round 8, round 9. I think Smith's pressure and power gets to him, and I think he got more superior boxing skill. But I respect Lamont Peterson, and it's going to be a good fight. Errol Spence going to stop him, hopefully, and then later fight a Keith Thurman or Sean Porter or Danny Garcia or See what Chance Crawford does. But Spence stops from round 8, round 9. That's my opinion.
Well, all right,
Yeah,
my
that's
friend.
Appreciate you, Matt.
No, thank you. Appreciate the call, brother. Thank you for tuning in, continuing to support the show. We're going to go out to New Jersey. We got Steve. Talk to me.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
You're here?
I just wanted to, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're coming in a little hot, though. Are you on speaker there?
Yeah, hold on. All right, hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just wanted to say, Errol Spence is the next WBC champion, okay? What was it on Showtime? I think it was the Lara fight when I think Keith was in that little, they were having an interview with Wilder, Keith, Adrian Broner, and Spence. I've got to say, Keith Thurman looks fucking scarce. That's just my honest opinion. He looked like he was shook. Showtime should have played Mobb Deep Shook once. That's how bad that's how scared he looked. He looked like he doesn't want anything to do with Spence at all. I think that after Spence fucks up, cleans up Peterson, he's gonna fight Keith Thurman hopefully, and he's gonna slaughter him, and he's gonna be the real champ. That's all I gotta say.
All right, Steve, thanks for calling in. We're going out to Keem in Florida. Keem, talk to us. Keem going once. Dose. Milkman in Atlanta's back. Talk to us.
Yeah. The Milkman is back. So I will say this: the fight will be a good one. Lamont is the most seasoned person Errol has fought, and Lamont has, I would argue, to say the best resume of opponent that Spence has seen. It's going to be a good scrap. I think Spence should win, but you never know. Now, I will say, in regards to what's a bigger fight for Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, or Errol Spence, if you're playing the short game, Danny Garcia, probably get him, a bigger paycheck. But I think Sean is in a position where he needs to have a strap. There's more bargaining chips for future moves down the road. So if you're playing the long game, then, I would be calling out Spence. He has a strap. So that's my take on it. But I'm looking forward to the fight. That's all I got.
Yo, it's like they don't get that he doesn't want the IBF belt. They don't get the principle behind it. It's fucking crazy.
Yo, he's scared, man. That's what they say, right? He's scared.
I'm scared, homie.
Scared, homie.
321. Gonna have some fun. 321-805. First time caller.
Hey, how you doing?
First time caller, my friend.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this first time caller intro. Let us know your name, where you're calling from. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Lamont Spence Jr., Errol Spence's first cousin.
Allegedly.
Excuse me?
Matt, I think Matt said allegedly. Matt, what'd you say?
I didn't say that.
Nah. I'm the first cousin.
What's his name, Matt? Did you get it down?
Cousin.
Lennox Spence, right? That's what you said? Like Lennox Lewis?
Yep. Lennox Spence. Yep.
So Lennox, you're going to call in here. You're going to call in here and you're going to tell us that you Errol Spence's cousin and we just supposed to believe you. Now we want automatic access in the camp. When could I book my flight?
Okay.
If you Errol first cousin, when could I book my flight? I want to be all in the gym recording them like I did last year.
Whenever you're ready to come down to DeSoto, Texas, and talk to my uncle and talk to EJ, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. I just was asking Derek today. I said, Derek, what's up? He said, I got to talk to Earl. Yeah, I'm ready now.
Yep. Yep.
But anyway, go ahead. I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't want to put you on the spot. So talk to me. Do you feel the same way half of these fans feel? Do you really think that Sean Porter is somehow ducking Errol Spence, your first cousin?
Kind of, sort of. He's ducking him. Sean Porter already caught a couple of losses. So right now in this stage where he's at, he ain't ready to take another loss. So to fight my cousin right now to lose again, I mean, tell you the truth, it's not worth it for Sean Porter to fight EJ. L. Am I telling the truth, or?
I mean, it's yet to be seen, right? Right, Matt?
I'm not getting involved with Spencer's family. I'm not gonna upset the family now.
Well, I mean, look, he's Porter doesn't want to fight for the IBF strap,
I'll put it this way. I don't blame a guy wanting to get a loss back. I think we should never blame a guy wanting that. If Sean Porter wants to get that rematch with Keith Thurman and get that loss back over Errol Spence, I don't blame him. I get that.
And he wanted his rematch with Kell Brook at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, sometimes you just competitive. If people think it's about ducking Earl, maybe it's about getting his back with Thurman. Same way Thurman feels he could do better in the second.
I believe that. Yeah. I believe that.
So Spence's first cousin. What do you think about Lamont Peterson versus your first cousin?
I mean, Lamont Peterson is a good matchup, but not to see. My cousin went all the way to England to do what he had to do to Kell Brook, and Kell Brook's a little bit better fighter than Lamont Peterson.
And you basing that off of a Sean Porter win, or is it eye test?
No. Sean Porter's a good fighter. Sean Porter's a good fighter. It's just that time. I think, to me, Kell Brook, when he came to the United States, how EJ came to England, they were both on a mission. Kell Brook came to the United States to come there to beat Sean Porter in the United States, and then same thing with what my cousin did. It was just history repeating itself. That's it.
Well, all right. Listen, Lennox, man. I hope that I receive a text from Earl or Derek saying that, yo, Lennox said we gonna open up the doors for you. Till then, you know the number, you know the channel. We're gonna get to some other callers. Thank you as always. I hope you continue to call in.
I'll see you in the gym. I'll see you in the gym, and then you're like, oh snap. Yeah, I'll see you in the gym.
Now, I don't want to say oh snap.
I called you.
I don't want to say oh snap. I want you to get at me. I want you to be like, yo, Ness, fly down this week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm be waiting on you. I'm waiting on you, Lennox. We out. We gonna get to Texas coming out strong. I told you, Matt. We
got ringers. Hold on. We got ringers. I'm sorry, Jimmy.
We got Texas, though.
We got 2 ringers.
We got Texas. I'm just saying, yo, you gonna do Errol Spence fans like that?
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't play Showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see two motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that form I do? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next one, great show. Thumbs up, donate.
Yo, Matt, how you ain't gonna bring him on?
I'm sorry. Georgie, how are you?
You better be sorry. You better be sorry.
I like
Shit.
that high energy.
Listen, bro. Listen. I'm Errol Spence fucking cousin too. Listen, cousin.
Yo, why you trying to play Lennox out?
I'm the Puerto Rican cousin that you don't know about. Listen, bro. Peterson gonna be smoked like on 3 rounds. Sorry for Peterson. Doggy always go there to 5 back. Baby, we talking about lethal power. If you ain't got lethal power to face Errol, he gonna fuck you up. Ask our jury. That's the bottom line. If fucking Lamont Peterson pass the third round, I'd be surprised. Fucking surprised. Pretty much that's my call, and ain't much to talk about, because all we can do is just speculate and go by the eye test until motherfuckers really fight. If fans really don't want to really see the fight, don't watch it. Watch it. I really don't care. I just waiting for Spence to fight either Thurman, Porter, even Danny. Even any other name besides that don't make a lot of sense to me. Those some progressive career.
Crawford, you little loser.
Jacqueline.
You know that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. What you dreaming about shit? Simba's gonna put fucking Crawford there. He's only cash cow. Come on, bro. Ridiculous. Everybody out there support, donate. I'm outie.
Audi 5000. Let's go out to the streets. We got more ringers. If you don't know what that is, head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice for more exclusive content. Check out that 3-hour one-on-one with Keith One Time Thurman discussing all topics. Don't forget to check out that Bob Arum. That's definitely
and
one
remember,
you want to check.
Remember, did you cut it off for me?
Yes.
That's so nice. Thank you, Ness. I'm
You
sorry.
may
No,
please.
you can wait.
Something.
Remember, that Bob Arum interview does drop to the public if we hit 60K. So the second we hit 60K, that shit drops. So tell a friend to tell a friend, share the show, hit subscribe. You got to subscribe. It's not just a like button.
Subscribe. You can't just hit the like.
Yeah, you got to go to the channel, hit that little, subscribe button, hit the bell so you get the notification.
Suscríbete. I wonder if that's the actual translation. Suscríbete. Damn, we need a lot, actually. We're at 59,773.
Yes, so it's like 200 and something. So tell a friend, share the show, share it to your Facebook group, all your family friends. Help support the movement. Now we go to Info Joe.
Now we'll go to Información Jose.
It's the Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the Know, presented by my brother.
Yo. Ain't no show without Info Joe, LA's finest in the building. Yo, I got a question for you. Could you ask Derek James, out of all the welterweights, including Terrence Crawford as he's moving up, who does he feel gives Errol Spence the best fight? And ask him to be honest. Who does he feel will give Errol the best fight? Also, man, y'all know I love New York. I had one of the best times I ever had in my life. And why? Why they can't have a big fight like that in LA, man? What's happening? What y'all doing out there, man? The boxing guys are sitting all
it's the Barclay.
They pay,
paying like they weigh, and little the Forum and the little StubHub. They ain't got the wallet.
Yeah, they're paying for Miguel Purcell.
Yeah, y'all.
Ain't that in the desert? That's in the desert, player.
Same shit.
Yeah, some bullshit.
Nah, that's in Vegas, I think.
Another question: can you get Barry Hunter on and pick his brain about what Lamont Peterson can do to offset Errol Spence? Now, this is my opinion. As far as skill set wise, having more tools to pull out the box. That's not all the factors that wins the fight, though. But I'm talking about more tools to pull out the toolbox. I will put Crawford first. I will put Thurman second, and I will put Spence third. I'm not talking about power. I'm not talking about chin. I'm not talking about all the other factors. I'm talking about skill set. Can fight forward, can fight backwards, can stop on the drop of a dime and fire off a combo, lateral movement, timing, angles, all of that. I put Crawford first, Thurman, and Spence. But if they're all 50-50 fights, as far as Sean Porter, I understand that he got dropped from the rankings the day after he lost the fight, and he was the champ. If I was him, I would say fuck the IBF. and I wouldn't pay them a damn dime in my life. But if he gets a belt, if he happened to beat Thurman, then he would have a bargaining chip to say, yeah, I'll fight Spence. But why in the hell would he be loyal to a ranking system that just shitted all on him and he was their champion, paid the sanctioning fees, the day he loses, the day they drop him out of the ranking? I don't think none of these guys are afraid of each other. I just think they're all thinking, what's the right time to fight this person or that person? And it's never going to be when the fans exactly want it. It never has been, and it never will be. That's my call. Hit those thumbs up. You fucking with some guys that go out and do all the interviews, have the best shows. Hit that subscribe button. Hit those thumbs up. I'm out.
Info Josie, thanks for calling in. Let's go out to Texas, home of Earl the Pearl.
JD, motherfucker. There's a lot of things I like to do, so just try to get on my game on boxing. I don't know why they gonna call me because I'm a 54 pounder, but I have a brother that's at 160.
JD.
Yo.
How dare you have us on?
Hey man, this is actually Lamont Peterson's stepbrother. So basically, what's happening in this fight is your boy Earl is gonna get outboxed. I'm ready to put my money on it. You heard it here first. I got 100 for one of these Errol Spence fans.
So you're taking, first off, you're on speakerphone, I'm pretty sure, which sounds horrendous. Secondly,
horrible.
You're willing to bet $100 on Lamont Peterson?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
100, sir.
You are betraying.
Yo, don't take Georgie's bet. Don't take Georgie's bet. He don't pay.
Yeah, don't take Georgie's bet. He doesn't pay. But man, how can you portray Texas like that, JD? JD? Did you drop out?
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Yeah,
I can hear you now. Apparently not, JD.
You sound like trash right now. What's going on?
My bad, man. I'm finishing up my day. You know how this truck shit go. But if I can get this off real quick, I'm a fan of boxers. You know what I'm saying? And basically, you know, I don't see Earl as one of the top boxers. I see him as a power puncher, you know, but not a boxer. And he'll get outboxed. Easy.
Well, all right, JD. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to the 616-419. 616-419. First time caller, 616-419.
Yo.
First time caller?
What up? First time caller?
Yeah.
Where you calling in from,
my
friend?
first time calling there.
Let me go ahead and play this first time caller.
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, home of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Clarissa Shields.
Man, home of a bunch of champs. Yeah.
You gotta claim the Durrells, all right?
Oh, they from Flint. But they're good guys, though. I know them cats.
What was your name?
Jimmy Mack.
Jimmy Mack. That's what you think about Lamont Peterson.
Talking about that's what I was gonna say. I heard y'all talking about Lamont and Earl. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I heard somebody say they don't think it's gonna go past 3 rounds. I wouldn't put Peterson down like that. But Errol Spence, man, that relentless body work, you know, it's gonna come to fruition. I say probably round 9. I give Peterson at least 8 or 9 rounds. But that's when that body pressure gonna fold him. In my opinion, that is.
Say that again, because Matt obviously didn't listen.
Oh no! I said I got Errol Spence late. I said I got Errol Spence around 8 or 9. I said I think that body pressure, just the relentless work to the body, gonna be a little too much. I like Peterson a lot. He looked good against Danny Garcia. I think he's a better boxer. Like somebody who called in before me said, I give Peterson the nod on being a better boxer, but all fights don't come down to that. Don't come down to who the better boxer. I don't think he got enough power. Plus, he don't sit on his punches. He don't sit on his punches enough. He like to box and move, and I think his lack of commitment on power. Errol Spence gonna walk through it, man. He's gonna walk through his shots and he's gonna break him down. I like them both, but I got Errol though, no doubt.
Well, all right, Jimmy Mack, man. Thanks for calling in, brother. We appreciate that. Matt, it is that time. Jesus, Louises, no matter what we do, we always seem to put in extra OT around here.
We're not even done. We have another show in a few hours.
I know. I'm about to go to sleep.
I'm scheduling it right as we speak.
I'm sleeping, actually, man. I don't know. But, yeah, final thoughts. Can't wait for this fight, man. So many questions and answers. We definitely want to continue to see if Earl's going to live up to what the fight fans believe he is and show us dominance the way that Triple G has done in that middleweight division, kind of distinguishing himself as the man. And soon enough, we'll find out just how true that is. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get those notifications. You got to hit that notification bell in order to receive emails every time we go live and every time we upload videos. Listen, we got exclusive. We got tons of videos on YouTube. You can check that out at youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice. You can also head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com for many extras. Head on over to The Boxing Voice Patreon on patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice for even more exclusive content for TBV Podcast Kin, Patreon only exclusive t-shirts, TBV koozies, so much stuff, and you can just show your love and support. Look, it's already looking like the chips are falling in place. I mean, we had Lennox Spence call in. We got Derek James about to call in a couple of hours. Pretty soon, we're going to be in that Errol Spence camp. We're going to need your support. So a shout out to all the super chatters. Shout out to all the people that subscribe to our PayPal. Shout out to everyone that is subscribed to our Patreon and keeps allowing the TBV to be out there, hitting the field, getting the answers to the questions that you guys want. A lot of you guys asking, why don't you fight Errol Spence? Why has no one asked Sean Porter? Well, Nestor asked Sean Porter. Stop those lies. Go on over to YouTube and check that out. There's a video there. Then there's even another one on Patreon where we're even more in-depth on that conversation. So I've gotten you the answers. TBV has never let you down. Matt.
I'm Matt Hipster. I know you can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. My final thoughts: this is a great fight, and this is going to open up the year. It's the first month of the year. It's just going to set the tone. Remember how this year started. This year started with the event every weekend for 6 or 7 weeks, and every event was amazing. Every event was stacked. This is just going to be a continuation of that, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see what 2018 brings. Peace.
Nos vemos.